World of Warcraft is no longer going to be supported on a fairly common system. Along with that, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds reached 5 million copies sold in the last 4 months alone, which is crazy. Destiny 2 had its first open beta this past weekend, but not everybody was as happy with it as we thought they'd be. And also, Final Fantasy XIV had its first patch since the expansion Stormblood 4.05, and it brought with it quite a bit of changes. So we're going to get into all that with this week's Hunt for Game News, as I also attempt to take on one of the eye level 113 avatars for the first time in months. So let's get right into it. So welcome back for more Hunt for Game News, this time with Final Fantasy XI. I'm changing things up a little bit by playing as I give you the game news, which is kind of how I sort of talk about game news with my friends. I just kind of talk about it while we're playing games. Now, based on some feedback, I'll be changing things up a little bit with some edits this time, but I figured I'd go back to the eye level 113 avatars, which I haven't done in a long time, and I've never certainly done like live recording, although you guys aren't live watching me. But anyways, let's get into the news. So World of Warcraft is no longer going to be supported on Windows XP. Now, this isn't that surprising. Windows XP is pretty damn old and chock full of security problems these days. But still, I'm sure there are plenty of people in the player base that haven't updated their computers in a long time who are still playing on that system. So this is a big deal for anybody still playing on a Windows XP machine that suddenly won't be able to play World of Warcraft on that machine. Obviously, Blizzard doesn't think it's going to be any great loss and probably save them more money in the long term by not having to support it with code. But still, it's huge for anybody that, you know, loves to play World of Warcraft and doesn't have a computer that has been updated with the more recent operating system. So I haven't done this since I had the better healer. I don't even know if I can do it with this setup. But we're going to try. Apologies, I guess, if I go down suddenly. I really haven't done this in a while, and I haven't even been playing a ton of Final Fantasy XI. So I'm a little out of practice with this fight, this game, and especially Blue Mage, which I haven't played in months. I'm hoping it all just like comes back to me in a fit. So PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is up to 5 million copies sold in the past 4 months, one of which was sold to me, because I did end up buying it, which is really cool and everything. Oh, Burning Strike. Did I actually stun him? I don't think I can stun him. This is based on a GameSpy article, which I'll kind of like show on the screen somewhere. They pulled their information from like Steam Spy, a tool that kind of gets information about Steam copies and user data. So that's insane. Anybody that's a fan of the game has got to be happy to see the success. I know I'm really excited to see all the stuff that they come out with from here on in, because honestly, the game is still very early on in development, and they've showed some great promise for, I'm gonna get my butt kicked, what the game could become. So really excited to see what happens with that. I mean, new modes are coming. We got like the first person only mode coming in a few weeks, or patches, I'm not really sure which. Really excited to see that. I think that could be a really immersive mode that could be a lot of fun to play. Oh god, I'm forgetting all sorts of stuff. Quad continue? I apparently don't have it equipped. That's not good. He's gonna use his, where's my saline? This is the wrong thing to do for this video. I can't focus at all on either thing. I'm probably gonna die for something stupid. Also the zombie mode, which has been like kind of teased and shown a little bit here and there, and like players have made their own zombie mode. Looks like it's gonna change the game entirely. And that'll be a separate mode, completely not part of the standard game as we know it. But I think it draws a lot of people that think the standard mode is too serious for them. They can't get into it. It's too intense. They hate that, you know, they die in 2 seconds and they're just done for 20 minutes. And the zombie mode will kind of alleviate that a little bit. So I think that's cool. But yeah, I'm pumped. So Destiny 2 just had its open beta last weekend, and unfortunately I couldn't get a chance to play it all. So all of these thoughts that I'm hearing are not my own. They're things that I've gleaned on the internet with various reactions all over the place. Articles, forums, you name it. So I can't name one source, unfortunately. Am I gonna win this? I better. I'm freaking 119. QPV's running out of HP though, MP. So I just like picked this one at random because I want to upgrade some gear for my summoner or pup. I haven't decided which, and I need all of it at some point. Yay! That was fun. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again. So the Destiny 2 beta was received with less than perfect reaction. I mean, obviously a lot of features were left out because it is a beta, and it was intended to test the server load and stuff like that, and not necessarily be like a demo for players. Regardless, the open beta was just open to everybody, and certain aspects were missing. Some features I heard, like basically choosing how your character levels a little bit. Why'd I come in here? Was not in there. You couldn't create a character at all. You could just basically choose from the main archetypes and play that. essentially there was only like one little, what is it, raid or dungeon or what have you, whatever Destiny happens to call them. And that's all fine. We didn't expect there to be a ton of content. We knew that some of it would be held off. The more concerning stuff is general reactions to the gameplay and how they have kind of like approached the story. So for diehard fans, movement, jumping, all kind of just seem to feel a little off. I mean, obviously anybody that played this for hundreds or even over 1,000 hours would have strong familiarity with exactly how the characters felt, moved, played in a game like Destiny. And so in Destiny 2, if any of that's even slightly different, it could be very jarring. It was always the risk of changing anything to alienate the current player base. What's strange and confusing is the movement was really solid. It was one of my favorite parts of Destiny 1, so I'm not sure why they would change any of it if that is in fact true. Obviously, like I said, I didn't play it myself, so I don't have any opinions. But a lot of it seemed to be almost lag related, or at least in how it was described. It was like the timing of sounds and when jumps happened didn't seem to really coincide with when buttons were pressed and stuff like that. Just kind of weird, weird stuff. Just, you know, mildly concerning stuff there. Kind of like slightly more of a letdown is so far, people that only casually enjoyed the first one, they maybe played through it one time around, then like stopped, kind of like how I played through the game. Story was kind of a big detractor, at least for me and for, you know, others that I've spoken to about that. It just wasn't really there in the first one, and didn't help you keep invested in the world, the cool world that they had invented, but was kind of like hollow. So they, you know, Bungie has said multiple times that this Destiny 2 is going to have a lot more story, and everyone's excited to see how they approach that. And the open beta is like one of the first examples that people had to kind of check out how that's feeling so far. What's going on? So the big thing is that, you know, the Traveler, whatever the hell the Traveler is, has been like attacked. But do we even like the Traveler? Like, doesn't seem to be helping us that much. And the light is stolen away, and people are upset about that. But like all threat of what that would actually mean, I dragged her out again. Why do I keep doing this? Is kind of like mute. Mute. It's moot because obviously we're fine. All the trailers have shown us using our light abilities again, so we must get it back like immediately. That would just be a more threatening like thing, like, oh, the light is gone, you can't use any of your special powers. If you actually played through Destiny 2 without any of your special powers, but clearly we get them back in like 10 seconds. The open beta didn't even have a section where we didn't have it. So, you know, those are the things that I think people are like, they're not getting that invested. Nobody cares about the Traveler. I want to, but I just have no emotional investment. If it gets attacked, I'm like, oh no. I don't even know if it's really the good guy. For all, it seems to have screwed us over pretty bad by drawing all these people in to attack us, which just sucks. Anyway, my point is, people that weren't interested before doesn't seem to be doing a lot to draw them in, which, you know, is what we saw in the initial announcement. There was nothing that seemed like all that crazy new for players that weren't a fan of the original to get into this new one. But I mean, if players that love Destiny 1 can find fault with the new one, that's gonna be a bigger problem, because obviously, you know, there's got to be some love there. I gotta remember the stunning rules of like, oh, there's one. See, was that my spell or like a weapon skill or something? I don't know. Anywho, in general, and I haven't seen any footage to like react to it myself, people just haven't seemed to really like how the story is told either. Just in the main storytelling focus has seemed kind of lackluster, and they're like, it's kind of cliche and crappy and like whatever. So we'll see. Let me know what you think if you were playing the Destiny Open Beta, and what you thought of it. I obviously, like I've said like 4 times now, I don't know why I keep repeating myself. Didn't get a chance to play. I was away, so I didn't get to experience it myself. But a lot of people seem to not even finish out the weekend, which is kind of crazy for a game like Destiny, where people played it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Cool stuff though. So also, I didn't mention this in my original little like intro, but keep on the lookout for some Monster Hunter World gameplay footage of each of the different classes. Something came out, the was Gunlance footage came out today for the first time. We hadn't seen any, and it sounds like they're going to be starting to like slowly over the next week push out little bits of the rest of the sailing coat. He's about to do he's got a 2-hour. I'm really excited for Monster Hunter World, so definitely keep on the lookout for that if it's something that you've got on your radar too. Seriously. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just weapon skilling and like doing spells and stuff. So finally, Final Fantasy XIV had its first post-expansion patch, which, you know, isn't the craziest thing in the world, but they did release a lot of slight, subtle changes to most of the jobs that affected some jobs pretty drastically. Way too many changes for me to go over here, and that, you know, I don't really go through that kind of granularity unless it's something deeply impactful to me. But even like Astrologian, for instance, what was it? The balance card basically totally changed. Wait, chapter 8. Didn't I get chapter 9 last time? Oh, right. I just happened to get a chapter 9 double. I knew that seemed weird. Yeah, the balance card now does critical hit rate bonus, and before the balance was like useless. I don't remember what it did. So that's really exciting. But a lot of the jobs, let me know what you think of your job and the changes that came with 4.05. If you've checked it out. If not, check it out. There was a bunch of changes. Some were affected way less than others. Like Ninja, I think, had meaningless changes, like a slight decrease in the damage done by one ability. I don't know, nothing. A nerf. It got nerfed into the ground. So let me know what you think. Super exciting stuff. But anyways, that's pretty much it for the Let's Play news for Hunt for Game News on Tuesday. Let me know what you guys have been playing. Obviously, Albion Online came out. I've been playing a lot of it. Actually, I did end up getting it. Let me know if you've got it. It's a big, one huge mega server, so we're all on the same server if you guys are playing. As always, reach out to me on Final Fantasy 14 or 11 if you're on my server. Odin on Final Fantasy 11 and, oh my gosh, Goblin on Final Fantasy 14. I totally blanked there for a second. As always, check back in later in the week for more videos. We got stuff coming out on Thursdays, Saturdays, and sometimes in between. And now Sundays, too. Yeah, I'm putting out like some Let's Plays on Sundays. I'm trying to ramp it up. Let's ramp it up. I don't know why. It just got like that. I'm pumped. I'm excited. Anyways, sounds like fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Sounds like fun. What the hell was that? So weird. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, you should totally think about subscribing. I've got videos coming out twice a week, and if you like this one, there's at least a chance you'll like some of the others that are very similar to this, so live dangerously. Let me know what you guys thought about the video in the comments and other videos you'd like to see. And finally, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Huntin for Games to keep up with all the latest stuff. See ya.